the home opener for the 2006 Oakland Raiders preseason. As you take a look at downtown Oakland, a beautiful day and a beautiful evening for football here as we welcome you to the McAfee Coliseum, where the Silver and Black host their Cross Bay rival, the San Francisco 49ers. Hello again, everyone. I'm Jim Gray. Well, this is the third exhibition game for the Raiders so far in this preseason. So far, they're off to a great start, a perfect 2-0, and it's mainly been because of their young defense and how well they've played and how quickly they've meshed together.
Team to win, hopefully win the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate dream, but I mean, just want to get better every day, and hopefully we'll play the best we can. I mean, they're teaching me techniques I never learned, back in the day, back at Texas, so I'm trying to learn new things and trying to see what's going to make me a great pro and help this team.
Well, this is a very young and talented team for head coach Art Shell. By the way, an interesting note, this will be the first time that Art Shell has coached a game up here in Oakland. In his previous tenure, the team was in Los Angeles. For more on tonight's game, let's go to the three gentlemen who will be calling it up in the booth. Jim Plunkett, Artie Gigantino, and take it away, Grant Napier.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. As mentioned, 2006 marks the return of Art Shell to the Silver and Black. And one guy that knows a lot about number 78 because he protected you for many years. We're talking about the offensive line and what Art Shell needs to do now with this football team to protect Aaron Brooks.
Well, I had the privilege of playing with Art in 1981 Super Bowl. Again, he was the assistant offensive line coach in '84 when we went to another Super Bowl. And I guarantee you, Art Shell will get this offensive line working as a cohesive unit. They'll run the ball extremely well, and they'll go all out in protecting the quarterback.
All right, Plunk, Artie, let's talk about Art Shell and what you've seen at practice every day in that.
Well, I've been at every practice, and I have been so impressed with this coaching staff's ability, led by Art Shell, to teach fundamentals and techniques each and every day. They're dogmatic about it. They demand players get better, and it's very impressive to see the teaching that's gone on this year in Napa. And I'll tell you, in the long run, it's going to prove better results for this Oakland Raiders football team this year.
All right, the Raiders and the 49ers opening kickoff coming up next, right here on the Oakland Raiders Television Network. Sebastian Janikowski off to an outstanding start here in preseason.
And you take a look at Sebastian Janikowski. He's about 20 pounds lighter, which I really think has helped his ability in his kickoffs and his field goals this year so far. Looks svelte. Look at him.
And a deep kick, backs Marshall up 8 yards deep, and he'll take a knee. Great kick, and so the 49ers will take over at the 20-yard line as Seabass got all of that one. Alex Smith, the second-year man out of Utah, of course, a year ago, the #1 pick taken in the NFL draft, struggled last year with just 1 touchdown, 11 interceptions. Did make 7 starts, but looked much improved last week in the win against the Chicago Bears. And some news today, Kevin Barlow of the 49ers, their starting running back, was traded to the New York Jets for an undisclosed draft pick next year. So Smith and the 49ers, 1st and 10. The setback is Frank Gore. In motion goes Gilmore. And Smith looks for Gilmore and overthrows it. And it's a loose football. It's a lateral, and that's backed all the way up to the 11-yard line. Good alert play by the Raiders defense to know that that was not a forward pass. Nnamdi Asomugha reacting and on the stop for the Raiders.
Well, you keep hustling until you hear that whistle, and that's exactly what the Raiders did. It was actually a lateral instead of a forward pass by Alex Smith, and it started that fumble, and it was recovered by the 49ers, but still, 2nd and long. Good heads-up play by the Raider defense on keep on going until that whistle sounds.
As a defensive coach, that's the way you want to start the game off. You feel good about yourself already.
Well, they back the 49ers inside their 10-yard line at the 7. And here is Gore, and he's hit by Michael Huff, the rookie out of Texas. Michael Huff, who has looked so good here in the preseason. The Raiders using the 7th overall pick in the draft to take the young man from the Texas Longhorns.
And you know that Norv Turner now is the offensive coordinator for the 49ers, so you'll see a lot of screens, a lot of dump off to the backs in these kinds of situations.
That was an example there of Huff coming up. He's a solid tackler.
3rd and long for the 49ers at their own 12. They've got to get to the 30 for a 1st down. And a little delay to Gore. And again, it's Huff dragging him down by the shoe tops. And a good defensive sequence for the Raiders. They'll get the football back in all likelihood in great field position.
Yeah, and even though they picked up 10, 11 yards on that play, they needed almost 20 yards for a first down. So the Raiders were absolutely willing to give up that kind of yardage. And there's Huff all around the football, number 24 in on the tackle along with Schweigert. Good hustle by the defensive secondary to come up and make that tackle.
There is Chris Carr and Andy Lee in punt formation. And Carr waits for it at about his 30. A hit immediately. Good special teams coverage down there by the 49ers. Keith Lewis gets down there to make the stop for San Francisco.
Great play by Lewis, and Carr is a dangerous punt returner. An excellent year last year as a rookie. But no matter how good you are, if a guy comes that clean, you're not going to get away from him. Nice job by Lewis.
Yeah, the blockers couldn't quite contain the cover guy on that particular play. Otherwise, it looked like Carr had some room to run.
Aaron Brooks, since 2001, 98 touchdowns. He has averaged over 3,500 yards each season. He's in his 8th year out of Virginia. Lamont Jordan and Zach Crockett in the backfield for the Raiders. Doug Gabriel down at the bottom of the screen. Brooks looks that way, and he has Gabriel, and it's a first down across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Good protection and a good start plunk for Aaron Brooks.
And I think he needs it. I think his confidence has been shaken a little bit in the first 2 games, 2 of 9. The first 2 games, a good throw by Brooks there, steps into the pass, hits him accurately right in the chest. Gabriel makes a nice grab under a lot of duress.
So Aaron Brooks on a first down gets the ball across the 35 to the 36.
But once again, it all started with that protection.
Randy Moss goes wide to the right. Gabriel split right. And Brooks again looks. And he has Courtney Anderson. And Anderson has a gain of 9 to the 45-yard line. Stopped by the veteran from Washington in his 9th year, Tony Parrish.
And look for Courtney Anderson to have a big night. He's a guy that they want to get the football to. You see him on the right of your screen. He's running a little stop pattern down the field. He's a big target. He's 6'6", 6'7", about 260 pounds. And Tom Walsh, the offensive coordinator, wants to get the tight end the ball more this year.
And we should point out that Corey Holsley is starting at left guard for Barry Sims, who's sitting this one out. Got an elbow problem. And a fumble. And Aaron Brooks able to fall back on it. All the way back at the 35-yard line.
After 2 good plays, back-to-back completions by Aaron Brooks, you hate to see that happen. I know Art's not very happy. You got to hang on to that ball. It means more than anything out there on the field than anything else. But now you want to see if the Raiders are capable of overcoming. Their third down conversions are very good, over 40% in the 2 games they've played. So this is 3rd and long. Let's see what they can come up with.
3rd and 9 for the Raiders on their first drive. Alvis Whitted has come in, and he goes to the right with Randy Moss and Courtney Anderson. Doug Gabriel to the bottom of the screen. Brooks has to hurry and just does beat the play clock. Here's the pressure, and there is the mobility of Aaron Brooks. He's got a lot of room. He's got a first down and more. And that's what a guy that can scramble can do for you. Aaron Brooks with a big gain. Run out of bounds by Derek Johnson, but not before he gets inside the 40-yard line of the 49ers.
I guess that didn't remind you of me, did it?
And you talk about his mobility. Watch this as he gets heat on a 49er nickel blitz on 3rd down. But because they're playing man-to-man behind it, some lanes open up, and he takes off. It's great to see because Jim and Grant, it just gives the Raiders another dimension on offense.
Well, that got the crowd excited as the 25-yard pickup by Aaron Brooks has the Raiders down at the 38-yard line. First quarter action with 10:20 left. And the Raiders looking to score first. This is Jordan. And he stutter steps across the 35, moves forward to about the 33, and a gain of 5 on the play.
Jordan is absolutely the workhorse, and he's going to be again this year. He was last year, rushed for over 1,000 yards on 272 carries. But, he came in from the Jets. He did an excellent job last year. And they expect more from him this year, and hopefully they'll be able to run the ball consistently, make those 2nd and medium, 3rd and short situations much more common for the Raiders.
All right, 2nd down and 5. Aaron Brooks maybe changing it at the line of scrimmage as the Raiders line up in an I formation. And now Crockett moves to the right. And again, using all the play clock. Jordan. And he breaks the tackle. First down. And Lamont Jordan pushes his way forward to the 25-yard line. Good hard run by Lamont Jordan. Brought down by Sammy Davis, who last year played for the San Diego Chargers.
Now that's the kind of running game that Tom Walsh and Art Shell want. You're going to see number 71, Corey Halsey, get out in front. But that's good, violent running that time by Lamont Jordan. Great example of not wanting to go down or not allowing one defender to bring him down. That's pleasing to a coach.
First down at the 25-yard line. An outstanding opening drive for the Silver and Black. Aaron Brooks sprints to formation. Randy Moss at the top of the screen. Brooks looking and almost intercepted, intended for Randy Moss. Through the hands of Mike Adams.
And one of the things you've got to be well aware of for the quarterback is where that free safety is. And the free safety was kind of favoring Randy Moss, knowing they like to go to him, knowing Randy Moss is a big play guy. You got to keep your eye on that free safety, and he came over and almost made the interception.
You know what I do like? This could be Grant. You know what I do like? They went for the home run there. Even though it was first down, they went for it.
Yeah, put pressure on that
Absolutely.
defensive secondary. You know, don't let them sit and take things away. Go after him.
Great job by Robert Gallery there. You saw on the replay. He picked up the blitz coming from the outside by Tony Parrish, the safety. Second down and 10. Here come the 49ers. Brooks. And he has Randy Moss. First down. And a great job by the offensive line, who's doing a marvelous job on this opening series protecting for Aaron Brooks.
Absolutely. Not only the offensive line, the backs, both Lamont Jordan, in this case, Zach Crockett stepped up, take up the blitzing back coming through there.
14-yard hookup. Aaron Brooks to Randy Moss, his first reception. And again, look at that protection.
And Zach does a great job, Zach Crockett, picking up the blitzer up the middle, giving Aaron Brooks that extra bit of time he needed to get the ball off.
All right, a first down at the 11-yard line. Again, it's Crockett and Jordan behind Aaron Brooks. Randy Moss to the left. Jordan gets by one. And he spills forward to about the 7, maybe 8-yard line. Lamont Jordan, nice job of eluding the pressure right at the point of attack.
You know, you're absolutely right, Grant. That was all on Lamont Jordan that time. Defender broke through into the backfield. He eluded him, picked up a few yards, 3 yards to be exact, but good play.
You know, it's interesting in this drive so far how much the 49ers are blitzing. And they're going to do the Raiders a favor because the Raiders have done a good job so far of picking up the blitz. It's something you don't usually see that much in the preseason.
The Raiders can get a first down if they get it to the 1-yard line. Second down and 7. And Aaron Brooks will take a timeout here in the first quarter. 7 minutes and 20 seconds left. And the Oakland Raiders trying for the first points of the game when we come back, looking at a 2nd and 7 on the Oakland Raiders television network. From mentioned out, Zach Crockett picking up blitzes. And his drive right now down to the 8.
You know, the whole offensive line is doing a very good job in picking up those blitzes and those twists by the defensive linemen.
Gabriel to the left, Randy Moss to the right. Gabriel in motion. Excellent protection. Touchdown! Well thrown ball to Doug Gabriel, and Aaron Brooks with his first touchdown pass of this preseason, and it's 6-0 Raiders.
Nice design to that play by offensive coordinator Tom Walsh, Art Shell, and Freddie Bolitnikoff. Brought Gabriel down the middle on a short motion. You're going to see Aaron Brooks look right to him and throw the ball. Touchdown right there. Excellent throw, because, you know, it's a throw that's not going to get intercepted. If it was not going to be a touchdown, it was going to be an incomplete pass. It's a good stop and an excellent throw by Brooks.
And the highlight of that drive has to be the play of the offensive line. Outstanding. And Janikowski to make it 7-0. So the Raiders get their hands on the football for the first time. They move it right down the field. And Aaron Brooks to Doug Gabriel. And it's 7-0 Raiders here on the Oakland Raiders television network.
Start this show on the road because it's showtime. Come on, all right, let's go. Ready? Come on, let's get right, boy. Let's go now. We need energy from everybody in here. Let's go, baby.
And sounds of the game. We'll be bringing you that throughout this preseason as Rasheed Marshall, and for the second time in as many tries, he will take a knee. Sebastian Janikowski just on fire here in the preseason.
Well, I talked about this at the beginning of the broadcast. The guy is in much better shape. I think he's focusing more on his kickoffs, especially this camp, and the results have been so positive so far. Seabass, I thought it was a great pick about 6 years ago when the Raiders took him in the first round.
You know, you talk about those sounds of the game, and Art mentioned in the opening about, you know, being dogmatic, you know, getting on their case about, you know, doing the right thing each and every day they're out there on the practice field. But Art also brings an attitude, I think, that, you know, that they won't be denied, that these are the Raiders, and this is how you play football. And I think that attitude is really helping this football team.
Kind of like that stuff in the locker room like that. Gives our folks at home a chance to see some real insight that you normally don't see. Good job. Good stuff. Let's take a look at Aaron Brooks. He's talking to offensive coordinator Tom Walsh up in the press box. Again,
we'll be back with the Niners' second drive of the game. Here in Oakland, and Frank Gore with the carry on a first down and 10 for San Francisco, as the Raiders have a 7-0 lead here with 7 minutes left in the opening quarter.
And that was a well-run play by the 49ers that time. They got outside. The Raiders couldn't get enough pressure from the outside corner to turn that ball in, and he picked up 10 yards in the first down.
Antonio Bryant into the game as he will go wide to the right. Larry Allen at left guard, anchoring that offensive line for San Francisco. The fake pitch as Allen came over from the Cowboys, the 10-time Pro Bowler, the former Raider, Chris Hetherington. And he has no room to operate, steps out of bounds. And once again, the 49ers looking at a long situation here, as the silver and black boy, the Raiders defense, really playing well here in the opening quarter.
Yeah, it's good pressure by Warren Sapp. I believe it was Derek Burgess put pressure on him. He had nowhere to go. He throws the completion, but it's for a 3-yard loss.
All right, second down and 13. Raiders rush 4. Alex Smith near side. Rookie out of Maryland. The 49ers using their first-round pick on Vernon Davis. He was taken 6th overall. Derek Gibson on the stop for the Raiders.
That was one of the Raider nickel packages on defense. Gibson comes in, and basically he's a strong safety playing linebacker. One of the attributes of this Raider defense this year that you're going to see a significant improvement in the speed at which they play the game. They've not only added faster players, but I think these players are more familiar with Rob Ryan's system now in year 3.
Barnell's battle, number 83 to the left, Antonio Bryant, who they picked up from the Cleveland Browns, down at the bottom of your screen. Smith, and incomplete through the hands of Antonio Bryant, and the Raiders will get the football back.
That certainly looked like a catchable ball by Antonio Bryant. A little high and hard, but I think he should have been able to bring it in.
Tell me what you see in 1 year of experience with Alex Smith compared to what we saw last year in the preseason.
I think he's more decisive. He's dropping back, going to the receiver that he's supposed to go to. He's doing it quickly. Doesn't seem to be indecisive at all. So, you know, he's gotten better. He's more experienced. And I think he's learned a lot from Norv, as a matter of fact. You know, knowing where to go with the ball and doing that quickly.
Doug Gabriel awaits. Good high kick from lead. And Gabriel at the 16. And he's going to be stopped as he crossed the 20-yard line, gang tackled by the 49ers.
The one thing the Niners did a year ago was play very well on special teams.
7-0 Raiders on the Oakland Raiders television network. Raiders, once again, it's a pleasure to have George Atkinson working the sidelines for us. George?
Yes, guys, I'm here on this sideline, and you know what? We've been doing this for a lot of years down here on the sideline. And one thing I've noticed about this team is that the energy level is sky high. The Raiders, if it's one word that would describe them so far this preseason, I think it would be change. A lot of changes happened with the Raiders. New coach, Art Shell, coming back here where he played. Quarterback, Aaron Brooks, new. The offensive line is pretty much new. And when you look at this whole situation, dog, I think Art Shell will bring something to the Raiders they haven't had in a long time. That's tenacity and aggressiveness. Also, there's change in the front office of the Raiders. For the fans, hey, the Raiders, for the first time since they have been back, handle the ticket situation. So you guys who are season ticket holders, you call the Raiders at 1-800-RAIDERS. If you're not a season ticket holder, well, call the Raiders at 1-800-RAIDERS. And you can also get in touch through RaiderNation.com for the tickets, and I guarantee you, your customer service will be supreme.
George, thank you. And be sure you call right now and speak to a Raiders representative.
Never been easier to get a Raider ticket. There's no PSLs. There's no hidden charges. It's a great time to purchase season tickets.
And Lamont Jordan, and he's tackled from behind. So the Raiders now, we'll see where they're going to spot that football. And it looks like it's going to be, well, it's right on. Yeah, it is a first down for the Raiders.
You know, you take a look at Robert Gallery, and some people have been down on the offensive line after the first 2 games, but this is a work in progress. They're doing a great job tonight. Robert Gallery's done an excellent job so far in this first quarter of not only run protecting, that you saw there, but also pass protecting.
Gabriel Moss down at the bottom of the screen. Brooks, protection, and he has Courtney Anderson. First down. Courtney Anderson with another first down grab. But Aaron Brooks, Plunk, what a difference it is when you have time to throw the football.
Well, absolutely. That's what happens when you do have time to throw the football. You can look, read the defense, and go to the guy that's open. And here goes Courtney Anderson. It's just a down and out pattern by Courtney. He catches it, breaks a tackle, and turns upfield. There he is, and right there he breaks a tackle, gains a few extra yards. But one of the things that, when Tom Walsh was was the receiver coach when I was quarterback, he loves to throw the tight ends. We had I'm trying to think, Raymond Chester, Todd Christensen. They caught a lot of balls in those years, and a lot of it had to do with Tom Walsh.
All right, so a first down for the Raiders. Lamont Jordan runs away from pressure and now is brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of 1 on the play.
Excuse me, Grant, but we've been talking about the offensive line, but it should be pointed out that 4 guys are playing different positions this year. Gallery moves from right tackle to left tackle. Langston Walker goes from left guard to right tackle. Jay Groves is just, a young player at center. We've got a new right guard in McQuiston, a draft choice this past year, and then Walker at right tackle. So it's a bunch of guys playing new positions. It's going to be a work in progress, but it's improving on a daily basis.
Second down and 11. Gets a gain of a yard, maybe 2 on the play, and that will be third down and 8 for the Raiders.
It was good pressure that time by the 49ers. Brooks couldn't find anybody open, but notice that time the linebackers didn't get too far from the line of scrimmage. They were watching for Brooks to take off and run the way he did. They only held him to a couple of yards, but there he is. Initially, the protection is pretty good. He just can't find anybody open. He steps up, but the linebackers are sitting there waiting for him to come down the field.
And Brooks 6 of 7 here in the early going for 62 yards and a touchdown with a minute 40 left here in the opening quarter. It's 7-0 in favor of the Raiders. Brooks, though, looking at a third down. You see the bunch of receivers to the left that includes Courtney Anderson. Up top, Randy Moss, and the second time out of this first quarter taken by Aaron Brooks. So he'll come over and talk it over with the Raiders Brain Trust, and we'll come back with the Raiders on top 7-0 on the Oakland Raiders television network.
You had one phone call. Who would you make that phone call to? I said it would be Al Davis. All these years later, I had an opportunity. I got voted into the Hall of Fame. I had a phone call to make for a presenter, and I called Al Davis.
And what a great day that was 2 weekends ago in Canton, Ohio. And the Raiders looking at a third down now and 9 with the football on their own 44, leading by the score of 7-0. Again, Gallery does a great job of push this one to the outside, and it's just through the hands of Alvis Whitted. Artie, I know you and Plunk were both there in Canton. Yeah, what a great weekend.
It was a great weekend, and John Madden gave Al Davis a great tribute, but Al has done so many things in the NFL, and one of them is the issue of diversity. Hires the first African-American head coach in Art Shell the first time, hired the first woman CEO in Amy Trask, and the first Hispanic head football coach in Tom Flory. So I think you see Al up there, we all look at him and say, hey, he presents all these famous people, but the diversity issue is something that he pioneered.
All right, Brandon Williams back deep for San Francisco. And Williams runs out of bounds, is hit and a late hit. Flag comes down. They'll be 15 yards. He caught the ball and ran out of bounds at the 22, but you saw the late hit there by Randall Williams.
Yeah, no, those are one of the things that Art's trying to clean up, those unnecessary penalties. Although that was pretty close, but I guess he was out of bounds during that hit.
You know,
tonight's
going to be, I talked about this before, a good test for the Raiders special teams.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness by the kicking team, number 86. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play. First down.
Ed Hockley, tonight's referee, Artie.
Because, you know, sometimes you can't practice special teams full speed. And in the first 2 games, the Raiders did a good job of, you know, covering kicks, returning kicks. But now this 49ers will be a great challenge. Talk about Hall of Fame people, Grant and Jim. Look at the people that have been in the Hall of Fame from the Oakland Raiders.
You know, 17 in all, and it is quite an impressive list. And that list, in our opinion, needs to grow by a couple.
And a couple guys in the stadium tonight, Jim Plunkett and Tom Flores, to name 2 of them.
And I feel very fortunate to have played with a lot of those players who are in the Hall of Fame.
They swing forward, and Warren Sapp got him right at the 40-yard line and drives him back. Nice job by the veteran Warren Sapp in his 12th year out of Miami, 7-time Pro Bowler.
You know, and Warren Sapp seems to have bounced back extremely well from that shoulder surgery he had last offseason. He started the first 10 games, and then he missed the last 6 games of the season. But there he is, making a good stop on Frank Gore there. But, you know, he's lost some weight. He seems to be playing at a much higher level than I think he had the last 2 years here with the Raiders.
Now Vernon Davis goes to the left side of the line, the first-round draft pick, Antonio Bryant, number 81 at the top. And it's Gore. And there's nothing doing at all. The Raiders up front doing a marvelous job of stopping this 49ers running attack.
You know, going back to Warren Sapp, you're exactly right, Jim. Came in excellent shape. He's been a fun guy to be around in camp. Not saying he wasn't last year, but you can see when he's an active guy in there, it just kind of controls the whole nucleus of the front 7. The Tommy Kellys of the world, and, Kurt Morrison, the new middle linebacker, they're gelling nice. But that guy right there, number 99, is the true leader of this defensive front.
First quarter in the books, and an outstanding quarter by the Silver and Black. It's the Raiders 7 and the 49ers nothing.
We just spent the last 2 minutes in a commercial break getting dancing lessons.
Man.
Jerry,
wait. Hey, he's showing me some moves, you know? Hey, I think you should be the next, you know, you should do the next Dance with the Stars.
Okay, no.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I think I might have better feet than Emmett.
There you go, man. A little special treat to have Jerry in the booth and complete for San Francisco. Smith trying to get things moving. We get a flag. Well,
Holding defense number 27 before the pass is thrown. That penalty is declined. The play results in a first down.
okay, the Niners get the first down, and there's another current 49er, Tony Parrish, who has this advice for our star and dancer.
Yeah. Like, what was that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, great job, Jerry. Okay.
He had to cover himself
Tony.
out of there.
Thank you.
Robinson makes his debut for the 49ers in the offensive backfield, and there's the guy. He did cover himself there at the end, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
You know, as we watch Michael Robinson running up the middle on that last play and talk about this core running backs now and their style and aggressive approach up the middle, this offensive line now, you know, with the addition of Allen, Jonas Jennings being back, Quayne Harris, a good run blocker, is set up to have a nice aggressive, you know, off-the-ball approach to running the football. It'll set the style and the way that this core is set up to be used.
Second down and 6. Good protection, and it's intercepted. And there's going to be a lot of running room. He could go inside the 15 and tackled by Alex Smith. But a nice return, and Michael Huff, when we talked about the rookie and the big playability, and there you saw his first big play for the Raiders in the preseason.
Michael Huff, the rookie out of Texas, Sitting in the outside right corner spot. And Alex Smith looking in the curl. Didn't see Huff working back inside. And Huff doing a nice job of falling back in, picking that football up, and Alex Smith doing the good thing of going back and making the tackle, giving the defense a chance after that throw.
44-yard return for the Raider. Rookie sets up Oakland with great field position. Brooks remains at quarterback. Jordan in the backfield, and it's Jordan. Gets a block to the 10, the 5, and pushed out of bounds by Sammy Davis, but he's close, and he's got another Raider first down. All momentum for Oakland right now.
Well, the Raiders doing a nice job at the point, so this is an off-tackle run here. You see at the point, it's a nice-looking hole as Lamar Jordan didn't break stride coming off tackle until he got in the secondary.
Got a good example why Zach Crockett has made such a long career. He sprung Jordan on the block. Got him the first down at the 5, so the Raiders, who lead San Francisco 7-0, threatening again. Jordan straight up the gut. Did he get there? No signal. Stopped at about the 1-yard line.
Dennis, I'm really impressed with this offensive line. Last week they couldn't do anything, and part of it, I think, because of Robert Gallery. I think he has to take the initiative, be the leader on that offensive line.
Well, Lamar Jordan just tough, hard running inside. The offensive line's job is to just get some movement off the line of scrimmage, and then obviously it's up to the back to hit it up in there hard, which Lamar Jordan's done all day long.
It's Zach Crockett territory, but it's Jordan again. A nice job by the Niner defensive line. But Jerry, I think you hit it on the money. The common denominator for the Raider problems the last few years has really been their inability to block, and they spent a lot on Robert Gallery, the 2nd overall pick in the draft. They've now moved him back to his college position, but they're doing a much better job.
Last week he could not hit a fly. It was unbelievable. It was like, defenders, they were blowing by him. And this week, he's coming out with a little bit more intensity, and it shows out there on the football field.
3rd and goal, which would be a nice defensive stand for San Francisco if they could get the last one. All time for Brooks, they close, and it's a touchdown to the man out of San Jose State, Courtney Anderson. Sammy Davis on the coverage for the 49ers. But Brooks, you get that kind of time, and you're going to find somebody. There's a flag down in the end zone.
Well, Anderson, 6'6", 270 pounds, is a big target.
Pass interference offense, number 83. 10-yard penalty.
And the push-off was called. You don't see that one called much, Jerry, in the league, and it's called on Anderson, who caught the touchdown, and right there, you usually don't get that call.
Hey, Keenan, the second you extend that arm, when you extend that arm, the officials, they're going to make that call there.
Well, there's...
Courtney, he was in position. He didn't have to push off. Just play basketball and get in position because of that big frame.
You rarely see that one called, though, I tell you. 99% of the time.
We in Oakland, baby. We in Oakland.
That's what I said, 99% of the time.
We get on, we get all the calls, okay?
Wow. Well, another shot for the 49er defense.
3rd and goal. Jordan, the lone man in the backfield. Brooks throws, and it's popped up the air, intercepted by Parrish in the end zone. Ulbrich was in on the coverage as the pass was intended for the tight end Randall Williams. And San Francisco with a big turnover with 11:39 left to go in the 2nd quarter.
Remember now, this guy will run, guys. Whatever we got, make sure their eyes are in the backfield. He will run.
Nolan obviously was expecting that. Not much reaction. Gore with the ball, picks up about 3 yards. Brought down by Sam Williams, a man out of Clayton Valley. What do you think about Nolan, Jerry? Defensive-minded coach.
I think the
tough
players.
Coach.
Yeah, I think the players are really, they like him as a head coach. They have pretty much bought into the system. They know exactly what he wants them to do, and they go out and they play hard for him, so they really respect, Mike Nolan.
Nolan, 4 wins in his rookie campaign. Smith remains the quarterback, by the way, for the 49ers. Larry Allen also in there on the offensive line. So the Niners trying to create something positive before Smith leaves the game. Gore, good hole up the middle to about the 32-yard line.
You have
Kirk Morrison.
Now time again for the Singular Text the Pros. Singular raising the bar. This week's question is for Jerry, of course. I was going to say this. I didn't want to get you in trouble.
That's not fair. I think both guys did, Montana and Young. They both threw a nice ball. I think Steve might have had a stronger arm, but, Joe just used timing, and he was always precise.
Very diplomatic. Throwing a deep ball wide open. And that's a first down for San Francisco. There's the rookie, Brian Gilmore.
a nice deep out. Alex Smith completed on that one, Jerry.
Well,
what's the deep out, Jerry? Let's say deep out. What's that mean?
It's like a deep square out, about 20 yards. But I'm sure what you're looking for here. You want to see that 9 route. You want to see if Alex Smith can throw that ball deep and get it to the receiver.
Got an injury timeout. I was saying Gilmore, the rookie, is the free agent the 49ers signed on the recommendation of Jerry Sullivan. We're back in a moment. Raiders lead the 49ers 7-0. Key play here.
Now, Jerry, tell us right here. You see Anderson locked up. Why'd they call this one?
Well, Courtney, for one thing, he has a big body, so all he has to do is position himself. But the second you extend the arms, the official is going to make that call.
It immediately hits in the ball game. Boy, he was taken down by irons. He didn't have much of a chance with the Raiders linebacker.
Number 96,
Grant Irons saying hello.
Grant Irons in his 5th year out of Notre Dame. He had just 4 tackles in 2005. He's trying to land a spot in that linebacking core, and he did a nice job there. A loss of 4, 2nd down and 14. Clock running with just over 9 minutes left in the first half. The Raiders lead the 49ers 7-0. Smith deep downfield. He was looking for the tight end Vernon Davis. Carr over there on the coverage. It'll bring up 3rd.
Intended for number 85.
Now, last week, Smith was very impressive against the first-team Chicago Bear defense. This time, was overthrown a couple of receivers, and I think the Raiders seem to doing a better job of getting in his face in the backfield.
I think the Raiders are making it a little bit more difficult for him, but there's opportunities out there. Antonio Bryant, he was running a clear route then, and you had Vernon Davis coming across on the deep over route. So you need to send Antonio Bryant to the post, and that way you can go for the home run.
Well, Bryant's the man at the top of your screen on 3rd and 14. And whistle called before the snap. And of course, I've got to mention that Bryant had that ball right open over the middle, which would have been a big play. So,
well, one of the things
delay
that's different.
of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, it's still 3rd down.
So, Jerry and Dennis, one of the things that's different about the attack we're seeing out of the offense this week from last is that we saw a lot more rollouts out of Alex Smith, a lot more where he was kind of pressuring the corner and having an option to run and throw the football. Tonight, we're seeing him much more in the pocket.
Right, in the pocket, and also they're running crossing routes, and they're like inches away from making that completion. But I think these guys, they're gonna develop, and the chemistry is also going to develop, and they're going to make plays.
That's the Niners' first penalty, and it brings up 3rd down and 18. And he dumps it off. This is Terry Jackson, and Jackson got across the 50. Well short of a 1st down, and it'll bring up 4th, and Andy Lee will come into the game. Kirk Morrison made the tackle for the Raiders, who have to be impressed with their defensive effort today. 2-0 coming in, and really most of that stuff has been done by the Raider defensive effort. So the Raiders defense very strong in the preseason. the ball go into the end zone, and Stanford Rout was back deep to receive, let the ball go, and it'll come out to the 20. So good job by the Raider kick returner, and with 8:23 left to go in the first half. The Raiders lead the 49ers 7-0. Raiders lead the 49ers. Let's go downstairs to Kim Coyle.
Yeah, Dennis, Sammy Davis might be known to his teammates as Thomas Edison because he invented this. It is called the Hydromax. It is a hydrating system. It's a 16-ounce pouch that you slide in to this Velcro enclosure. It goes in the back of the player's shoulder pads. The valve delivers a drink to them whenever they need it, keeping everybody healthy and hydrated in this heat. And Dennis, I think one of the most impressive points is that Sammy Davis gets his picture on a box. So we need to figure out how we can get you to invent something to get your mug on a box pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, you keep waiting. Thanks, Kim. Raiders have the ball at the 20. First down, and Brooks in trouble, and it got away from one man, and talk about his elusiveness, did not get away from the second man. Brought down by Manny Lawson about the 23-yard line, but it was interesting that Sammy Davis, that apparatus that Kim showed us, he's trying to get Larry Allen to wear that thing, and he figures if Larry Allen wears it, then he's going to have exposure worldwide.
Big Larry.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, Aaron Brooks has shown that ability, that knack, that instinct to avoid the big collision and pick up some positive yards again.
Second down, 7. By far the most impressive game for the Raider quarterback so far. Jordan, not much. The Raiders continuing to lead their first-string offense in there, and I think that's probably a result of what has happened in the first couple of games.
Well, you see Manny Lawson working hard as Brooks gets out of the, out of the brush there, but Manny Lawson staying after him, showing that second effort to get Brooks on the ground.
Yeah, Jim Maxwell's the man who got initially into the Raider backfield to make that play happen. This guy, have you met this guy, Jerry?
I haven't met the guy, but I heard a lot about him. Well, I heard he's funny. He's a funny guy.
You better watch out. He's going to come and ask for a loan for you. He does not like the local real estate prices. Again, under pressure, and he gets it off, and it's complete. At about the 37-yard line. And that is Fabian Washington. Or excuse me,
Alvis Whitted.
Alvis Whitted. Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah, the thing about Alvis, he's going to come in on third downs, and he's going to, do the dirt for you. He's going to catch the ball underneath, but he also has that world-class speed. If you line him up there outside one-on-one, he can get by you and go for the home run.
6:31 clock moving in the first half. Jordan tries to bowl his way ahead, got to about the 38.
Okay, we see Manny Lawson. Now, he made the switch to linebacker, and one of the things he's got to learn is to read, run, pass, get back in his drop zone, and follow the football. So he's coming into a new position, and obviously for the 49ers, so important, his development. Big things that they've got to have at that position, but this is a position change. And dropping back in zone is one of the tough things when you're making that switch to linebacker.
Second down, 8 for the Raiders. And on the draw, Jordan gets the first down near the 48-yard line. Well, as a linebacker, and we talked about who's going to be the defensive player, Keena, that steps up and is that guy, the playmaker that the 49ers need on defense. How long will it take a guy to learn that position and become an impact player?
Well, a lot of it's just how quickly his instincts and his ability to make plays shows up. There's a couple things that have to happen. You have to have that experience and confidence playing the position, and then you got to know the package and the defense and what to do and where to be. So the experience part of it comes, but the instinct hopefully comes quicker.
Brooks looking deep, and he's going for Moss, and Sammy Davis did a nice job of coverage. Moss is trying to push him out of the way, Jerry, with his arm, but nice job by Davis.
I think Davis did a great job, but you notice Aaron Brooks is not really getting the ball out there. Randy wants to basically go get the ball, and it's almost like Aaron Brooks, he's throwing the ball up to be a jump ball, and I think that's why that's part of the frustration from Randy Moss.
But isn't that the relationship really that they had in Minnesota? That, I mean, Culpepper, they had the type of relationship, just loft the ball up and it would work for them.
Yeah, but the thing now, defensive backs are getting much more smarter, and you can't do that now because they know exactly what's going on.
Back in a moment.
If your son has
this one against Denver there. That was coming up on a pop in the end zone, flag down on that one. Now this is the one against them.
Hey, this one right here, you just got to hold on because you're getting ready to get hit hard. And on this particular play, Steve Young put the ball up. I was able to fake the corner route, go back to the post, and it was the quickest touchdown in I think Super Bowl history.
Jerry, how fast were you?
Fast enough.
Are you?
Just fast enough. Fast enough. If I had to run a 4.2, I could run a 4.2.
There we go.
Flashback brought to you by Slingbox, your TV anywhere. Time again for your Singularly Text the Pro, Singularly Raising the Bar. Another question here, Jerry. Would you like to coach for the 49ers organization?
I would love to get back out there with the players, the receivers, and just to be able to pass some of my knowledge on to them would be just great.
And Jerry, you look at all those touchdowns.
That's scary. I don't want to look at that.
Do you remember every catch, every touchdown catch?
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
I really do.
So if I start the clip, you'll say, oh, yeah, this is how
I remember my first one. It was against the Atlanta Falcons. That was my first one. I remember that one well because I just kept running. I was running around in circles. Everybody was chasing me, trying to congratulate me, but I was running.
Yeah, those numbers you saw were 49er only. Second down, 7, ball at the 32. Jordan and Brooks still in the offensive backfield for the Raiders. Jordan carries the ball, stacked up at about the 35, so it'll bring up third down for the San Francisco D. By the way, tune in all your preseason, your chance to text the pro, brought to you by Singular, fewest drop calls of any network. We can go on all day. We can have a whole show with stuff like that.
Total touchdowns, man.
Which is
that's 208. That's
number,
unbelievable.
Man.
Which is the number?
Hey, I had some good quarterbacks.
That helped. Third down. And 23. What's the one number that you think will record that will never be broken?
I don't know. Records are meant to be broken, but I had a very supporting cast, and I give all the credit to those guys.
Brooks deep out of bounds. He had Randy Moss over there.
It's just the chemistry is so off. It's almost like it looks like Randy is just not running that hard. He's not really bursting downfield, and I think the timing is off. I think he needs to go full bore.
Don't just watch the game live. 49er season tickets and 5-game packs are on sale now. Packages start as low as $295. Call 415-GO-49ers or go to 49ers.com. How difficult is it for Moss now to play with 3 different quarterbacks in consecutive years?
It's really difficult, but you have to be able to adjust, and I was able to do that, for so many years. Whenever they brought, I started off with Montana, then Jeff Kemp came in, and so many other quarterbacks, and you got to be able to maneuver your game and really help that guy, behind center.
56-yard punt. Jared Cooper made the stop for the Raiders, and San Francisco and Alex Smith will start fairly deep in his own territory. Niners trying to get something going for the young quarterback with 3:26 left to go in the first half, with Oakland leading 7-0. The Niner defense has stiffened after giving up that opening drive touchdown. Badgerma is the man in motion. A fake to Hicks. Good time this time for Smith, and he's going deep downfield for Bryant. He's got the football inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. That's what you're talking about, Jerry.
Hey, that's that post route. I called it. I knew eventually that Antonio Brown would go to the post because he'd been running the majority of his routes outside, and Alex Smith was able to deliver the football.
Yeah, and Alex had to put this football in here nice and tight to Antonio Brown because the safety was there. This fake didn't pull him away, and so Alex, as he makes his throw down the field, has to really stick it in there to Bryant, who's got somebody coming from the middle to deliver the blow.
Nnamdi Asomugha, good coverage. I mean, that's just a nice play by Bryant. Hicks up the middle, nothing doing. Kelly was there, as well as Turdell Sands.
Well, Dennis, Alex, I'm really impressed with him. You know, he's looking the guy off, then he drills the ball down the middle. He gave Antonio Brown an opportunity to make a play on it. So, you know, I'm starting to believe, Alex Smith. I'm starting to believe, you know, you're playing your best football right now.
And coming off the best game of his career last week. And you talk about weapons, and maybe Bryant's one of those weapons that the 49ers did not have a year ago. Second down for Smith. Again, good protection, and Bryant again. This time overthrew him. Schweigert was over there on the coverage, along with Fabian Washington.
That contact on Antonio Bryant looked to be down the field that time. So Raiders got away with one.
I think the officials, they basically letting them play a little bit.
So we've hit the 2-minute warning. 1:54 left to go. 49ers with a big third down coming up. The coach's mouth.
He's always coaching.
Third down 8 for the 49ers. Yet to get on the scoreboard. And the ball hit the ground. They call it incomplete. He was looking for Vernon Davis. He was under pressure. And the ball was nearly picked off by Kirk Morrison, the Raiders linebacker.
Well, you see Vernon working down inside, trying to get free, and the ball comes as he's about to move away. Morrison watching the ball.
Join the 49er faithful. CBS 5 and the San Francisco Chamber of Commerce kick off the season August 31st at the San Francisco Marriott. Sit down to lunch with Coach Mike Nolan and the full roster of players. For tickets, register online at sfchamber.com or call the Chamber at 352-8879. And there's a rare miss by Joe Nedney. Of course, when it's 54 yards out, it makes your task a little bit more difficult. Nedney misses from 54, and with 1:44 left to go, the Raiders will have the football.
Well, Alex Smith able to move the football a little bit that time with the long throw to Antonio Bryant. 49ers not able to get any points, and we see an extended look at Alex Smith as Mike Nolan like to see him have some success here in the first half, Jerry.
Yeah, also, but on that play, on that last play, I think Vernon Davis, he has to be a little bit more decisive. He got to come back to Alex Smith and try to help him out because he's moving in the pocket. He's trying to make a play.
Well, that could impact what the Niners do with Trent Dilfer. They had hoped to get Dilfer in the game today. Thought it might be towards the end of the first half, but in hoping to get Smith on the board, that may impact the second and third and fourth string quarterbacks. And it's complete. Got it to the tight end again. And they are emphasizing the tight end, Randall Williams, with his second catch. He had 4 receptions, 164 yards in 2005.
Well, Jerry, it sure looks like Dennis and Jerry that Brooks is in sync with everybody but Randy.
Exactly, and he needs to get in sync with Randy Moss because, you know, they really gonna, this coming season, they're gonna have to strike some fear into the opponent. So whatever these guys have to do, if they have to work after practice, they need to get that chemistry going.
Second down at 6, ball at the 49. Good protection for Brooks. Throws deep downfield, and it's complete again. And again, it's to Randall Williams. So Williams, not Moss, the big man receiving today for the Raiders. And here is a tight end receiving corps who had only 27 receptions last year. It used to be one of the big strengths of the Raider organization as Brooks kills the ball, but a pickup of 39 yards with 1:16 left.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that the defense is really paying so much attention to Randy Moss and also Doug Gabriel on the outside because that tight end is matched up 1-on-1 going down the middle.
Well, the Raiders and Brooks working the 2-minute to perfection here as they get the completion outside, then come back down the middle of the field for the big gainer. And again, for Brooks, we've seen this extended look, and he's looked very well here throughout the first half.
A little surprised he spiked the ball. There's plenty of time, 1:16, and he gave away down. Good job of scrambling. Now throws it away. The one thing perhaps that this man might have, that Walton might have, is that kind of mobility. Able to buy himself some time. Third down 10.
Well, what we've seen out of Brooks here in this first half is not only his ability to buy time with his feet, but he's still really looking to throw the football. He's had times when he's been decisive and run the ball, Jerry, but he's really looking to move around in the pocket to throw.
Yes, that's exactly what he's doing, but he's making good decisions also. You know, he's not trying to force it, and on that, you know, last play, he threw the ball away, and you live to see, another day.
Look at those numbers today. Last week, 2 of 9 for 28 yards. He was sacked 3 times. Third down. Brooks again with time. Jumps it over the middle. It's complete. Fargas, tackled immediately by Chad Williams. So that'll bring up 4.
And on the other side of that, I mean, the 49ers have come after Brooks a few times here in the first half and been close or had their hands on him, couldn't get him on the ground. And obviously when you blitz or when you send people, you've got to get the quarterback down because you've exposed the defense to some man-to-man coverage in most of those instances.
The Raiders are running the clock down, and then they'll call a timeout on a 4th and 4, but the offense remains in the ball game. Janikowski not out there yet. That's the last Raider timeout. The 49ers have their full complement of timeouts, but content to let the clock run down as well. Let's hear the 49er offensive coordinator Norv Turner on his quarterback Alex Smith.
The next step is when the defense is designed and they've taken away your first option, maybe even your second option, and that's where I think Alex made the biggest stride the other night. When it wasn't easy, he found a way to find a third receiver. He found a way to slide a little bit and get the ball checked down, and he made positive plays when there wasn't much there, and that's the key to being a real top quarterback.
3-yard field goal attempt for Janikowski, who's off to a great start, by the way, in this preseason, and it's good.
Well, 2 field goals here in the preseason, over 50 yards, and Janikowski has always had that kind of talent, and he has shown it early in the preseason.
Yeah, 6 for 6 with a long of 55, and when you spend a number 1 on, do you think?
I think with T.O., he has to play this year, and Bill Parcells, he's not going to tolerate any, off the field activities or whatever you want to call it, and Terrell is just going to have to prove to everybody that, look, I'm here to help this team to win.
Delaney Walker picked it up and made something out of nothing. Unfortunately for the 49ers, there's only 8 seconds left to go.
Well, Delaney Walker, we saw him last week in some different positions, really doing a nice job. Moved from wide receiver to tight end with the 49ers, but he's returned a kickoff in college for a touchdown, so he's used to handling the ball, and we've seen him show ability with the football here early on.
22-yard return, and Smith.
Yes.
Doesn't look like they're planning for a kneel down.
Throw it deep.
That's right.
And it's intercepted and brought down. Picked off by Tyrone Poole, 12th-year cornerback, veteran, providing depth in the Raiders secondary. And that is what ends the first half here at McAfee Coliseum, where the Raiders lead the 49ers 10-0. And I think if you're Aaron Brooks, not a sigh of relief. I mean, he knows what he can do. Nonetheless, I think he has to feel pretty good about it.
I think so. He feels pretty good, about what just happened. And they needed to generate some offense, this evening. And I think they did that. They really accomplished that. Now they have something to go back and look at and feel positive about.
Okay, let's go downstairs with Kim Coyle.
Yeah.
We seemed to be a little bit cautious. That kind of got me, but there were some individual performances. I thought that Frank Gore did a good job running the ball. He had 42 yards on 6 carries, and Alex was whatever for 11 for 81 yards, but he was, he had a couple picks. That's not a good thing. But outside of that, it's preseason. We got to learn from this. This is something a little adversity is a good thing in a preseason. See how we respond to it.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
Send it back up to you, Dennis and Keena.
Thank you, Cam. Thank you, Coach. The 49ers defense takes the field now. Raiders have the ball at the 33-yard line. We'll see, excuse me, Keena, Andrew Walter at quarterback now for Oakland.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dennis, but, you know, the coach made a very good point there. Is, you know, for a young team gaining experience, it's good to see all the variations of what can happen in a game and be in different types of situations where you have to excel.
Vargas in the backfield now, replacing Lamont Jordan. So we're going to see some second-string teams coming in for both the 49ers and the Raiders. T.J. Slaughter makes the tackle for the 49ers. As you look at your first-half numbers, not terrible, really, unless you look at the first down. I think the Niners would like to improve on that, but it was the turnovers that really disappointed Mike Nolan. Second down, 6. Pickup of 4 by Vargas. Morant and Whitted, the receivers in the game now for the Raiders. Vargas out of the backfield. And he breaks one tackle and gets across the 40 to the 41. Brought down by Jim Maxwell. But it was Chad Williams who had him in his grasp and let him get away. And those are the things that the Niners are going to want to make sure that they do. Make the tackles, make the blocks. Because that sets up a 3rd and short. You know, as opposed to 3rd and 4.
You know, Dennis, one of the things we talked about in the open was about the defense of the 49ers and how they needed to get better. And one of the things that they'll lean on is the improved offense and the ball control that the offense can bring. But the defense will still have to make their plays when the opportunities present.
First down for Vargas.
The ball carrier, good for a Raiders first down.
Brought down by Melvin Oliver. And we'll get a chance to see some of the younger 49er ball players. Oliver, 6th-round pick, 6'3", 279. 20 sacks in his college career. That was the 4th highest at Louisiana State, so he can get to the quarterback. First down for the Raiders. Ball marked just inside the 45-yard line. Andrew Walter now at quarterback for the Raiders. Walter, different style quarterback than what we saw from Brooks in the first half. More of a pocket passer. And a good one out of the Pac-10. Vargas again. Vargas gets across the 45 to the 47. Chad Williams makes the stop along with Corey Smith.
Throughout the preseason, and it unfolds so many different ways, and obviously so important to keep everybody healthy, and yet the balance of showing and seeing everybody in different situations and getting that experience that they need. And for young players in the preseason, the opportunities, whether it's 4 or 5 plays a quarter or not, that you show and flash and give the coaches a reason to run that play back.
Walter under pressure, and down he goes. So the Niners got to him that time. It's Lance Legree, originally signed as a rookie by the New York Giants out of Notre Dame. 4 years with the Giants, then signed with the Jets, where he played 16 games with 4 starts, and he was released in February.
Well, he's working inside, and you'll see him come around, make that loop around from the inside tackle spot and have a nice straight line to the quarterback and gets him on the ground.
Third down, 16. Although this time better protection over the middle, and it's complete. Nice job of checking off a receiver and then making the completion, and he got the first down.
Well, we saw Brooks have time in the pocket and find his receiver. Now here in the second half, Walter again, we talked about that nice protection line up front. When a quarterback's got that kind of view and that kind of time, he can look around. Walter took his time picking out who he needed to throw the football to, and he gets the first down.
John Madsen, the rookie receiver out of Utah who played with Alex Smith. Vargas, this time a good job by Williams at the line of scrimmage for the 49ers. Corey Smith and T.J. Slaughter there as well for the tackle. Time for tonight's Cold Hard Facts Trivia, brought to you by Rocky Mountain Refreshing Coors Light. Taste the cold. And here's the question. How many Hall of Fame inductees have been with both the Raiders and the 49ers? Inductees who have been with the Raiders and the 49ers. Walter passes, good coverage, but it's complete. Alvis Whitted in his 9th year out of North Carolina State. He had 14 receptions last year for 183 yards, but he's just one of those guys, and Jerry Rice spoke about him in the first half. Just adds a little bit more depth. Lamont made the tackle for the 49ers.
Well, Walter continues this time with a little more pressure on him in the pocket and able to get that one in front of B.J. Tucker for the completion.
You're going to see Johnny Morant here pretty soon. He's at the top of your screen, just on fire in the preseason. Fargas again is going to get a lot of looks as well, and Justin Fargas is really a completely different back, I think, than what you see from Lamont Jordan. But more of a speedier back, more of a shifty type of running back, but a high-impact player for the Raiders.
Yeah, definitely a different look than Lamont Jordan.
Yeah,
Lamont,
just a tad.
north and south, brings a load of 230 pounds. No secret where he's headed. Vargas able to shift and move and change gears and looks to get outside.
Dumps it off. Maxwell on the coverage, incomplete. Intended for the fullback out of there. Walter actually good job that time stepping up. A little pressure coming up on the backside, but the Raider offensive line has done a good job tonight to keep the pressure off the quarterbacks.
Well, it's such an experience and instinct of feeling in there for a quarterback to know when he can step up or know when he really needs to take off. And all along to have the mindset that he wants to deliver the football. He really doesn't want to run. He just wants to create more time for a receiver to get open.
11th play of the drive. Raiders ball consuming opening possession of the third quarter. And it's complete to Whitted. Whitted hit immediately at the 21. He's close to a first down, taken down by Chad Williams. We've come full circle. Catch Terrell Owens and the Big D. Catch all the action this Saturday at 5 o'clock right here on CBS 5. And 49ers season tickets. 49ers.com or call 415-GO 49ers. It is 4th down and 1, so they came up 1 yard short. 4th and 1. And it's Vargas. And he pulls his way ahead and gets the first down. Or, depending on where they mark it, it looks like he got inside the 20, and they got the first down.
Well, Arshell's got to feel good that his team has come out. Obviously here, tough nose right up the middle for Vargas to get the first down on 4th down.
Well, part of the reason people were whispering quarterback controversy is Walter, and he's a second-year quarterback who really missed all season because of an injury suffered in the preseason last year. But Keenan seems to have so much poise. He set all sorts of records at Arizona State. So he's played big football, but he just has an enormous amount of poise for a young NFL quarterback. And it's Whitted. And Whitted has another first down. Hit there, brought down at the 8-yard line.
Well, to have a controversy, you got to have a couple guys that are playing pretty good. And now Aaron Brooks in this game has stepped up to that as we watch Whitted come across underneath and Walter find him for the completion. You got to have 2 guys at a position playing pretty good. Brooks stepped up to that today and obviously probably cemented himself in that role. But Walter has come along in his development to be talked about at that position.
First down, ball at the 7-yard line, 1st and goal, and it's Fargas, the ball carrier, cuts back inside the 5. Brought down by Legree. The Raiders getting close to pay dirt again. Well, Walter owns the Pac-10 record with 85 touchdowns. Threw for over 10,000 yards at Arizona State. The Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. How many Hall of Fame inductees that have been with both the Raiders and 49ers.
I wouldn't have got that second.
No. We were trying
that one might have snuck by me.
Yeah.
Well, soon to be 3.
Indeed. Justin Fargas dives. Did he get there? Yes. Touchdown, Raiders.
Well, Dennis, we've seen the Raiders offense put together some drives throughout this game. Brooks on a couple, but only got 1 score. And here we see Walter early on here in the second half, and it's been on the legs of Vargas for the most part as he comes off tackle right. Really doesn't get touched, got tripped up a little bit to fall into the end zone.
Drive, 15 plays, 67 yards. They used up 9 minutes and 10 seconds. That is the coach's dream, as the kick is good. And with 5:50 left, I mean, the Raiders had that ball since the beginning of the third quarter.
You talk about ball control.
Indeed, and it puts the Raiders on top now 17-0.
With the guys in the stripes, and they're donning a new look this year. Bigger stripes.
Tim Duncan doing the kicking, and Rasheed Marshall back deep and will take the ball at about his 6-yard line. Marshall gets up to the 25-yard line, and the 49ers will have a change at quarterback. And we'll tell you who that is when we come back. 7, and he's wearing John Brody's number. That is not a figment of your imagination, and it's an interesting story about how he acquired that number. But Dilfer under snap for his first time as a Niner quarterback, and he's got Eric Johnson, who fumbled the football, and they're saying it was an incomplete pass. Lucky for number 82. Jared Cooper is the man who put on the hit, but this is when it happened. John Brody handing over number 12.
From this man about competitiveness and competitive greatness from the game of golf that's translated over to football. And as soon as I got the word, it wasn't 5 minutes after I got called that I got traded, I called Diane, JB's daughter, and asked her if she thought JB would be honored by this, and called JB right afterwards, and he was pretty excited.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know that there's too many quarterbacks, great quarterbacks like John Brody, who would have done something like that.
It's pretty impressive, and very impressive for the 49ers to pick up a Trent Dilfer. 106 career touchdowns, Super Bowl with Baltimore, Pro Bowl with Tampa. Great addition for the 49ers and for Alex Smith.
He's got 3rd down and 9. San Francisco trailing the Raiders 17-0 in the third quarter after the Raiders' long opening drive. Dilfer showing he can move a little bit. I don't think that's what no one wants to see. Got across the 30 to about the 32. He's short of the first down. Let's go down to Kim.
Tony Parrish, the man who had the beautiful goal line pick. How did that feel?
You know, it was good. You know, it was a nice drop by Jeff Ulbrich to go ahead and make a break in that. I was able to go up and make the interception in the drive for us.
Now, one of the things that you do yoga to keep yourself in shape. You don't do that hatha yoga where there's no air conditioning in there, do you?
That's the one. I do Bikram yoga. You know, I picked that up this offseason. Something just to try out to help balance my leg out. You know, after breaking my leg last season, so I go ahead and trust it, build some strength on that one leg, and I like it.
What's the most difficult pose?
Man, I don't know. There's a lot of them. There are a lot of them. Definitely get your heart pumping. There's been a few times where I've got a little lightheaded myself. I couldn't tell you which pose that was, though.
I don't know how you do it. How about these young guys out here, some of the younger safeties? What have you seen in them, and what do they bring to the table?
Well, you know, they're playing well right now. You know what? Defensively, we came out a little flat, you know, and right now they're trying to pick it back up for us. So we've gotten off the field. We need to go ahead and get the ball back in our offensive hands.
All right, thanks, Tony. Let's go back up to you, Dennis.
Thanks, Kim. The 49ers had an unsportsmanlike conduct called against them. Hence, Lewin was backed all the way up near his end zone, and the Raiders will have the ball at about the 41-yard line with 4:35 left to go in the third quarter. It's the Raiders 17 and the 49ers nothing. A 53-yard punt off the foot of Tom Lewin.
You do it that way.
Yeah, I was saying he's in his 13th year. 13-year veteran quarterbacks ought to know better. Walter, second drive and quarterback for the Raiders on his last one. He led them to an 11-plus minute drive into the end zone. Taking the ball at the beginning of the third quarter for a touchdown. Morant with the reception, short one. Coverage over there by Morant Norris.
Well, for the Raiders here in this game, they talked about the timing and what hasn't happened. Jerry talked about, you know, Randy Moss and Aaron Brooks and not really being on the same page. But all the other receivers for the Raiders have really come out and done a nice job underneath and down the field, especially at the tight end position for this Raider offense.
That was Norris, Marcus Hudson on the tackle, but Walter 6 of 7, 55 yards. And it's Fargas. It was really a combination of Walter, a couple of passes, but so much of Fargas in that first drive of the third quarter. Hey, fans, you want to watch the game from the best seat in the house all season long? Here's your chance. Log on to CBS5.com/contest for your chance to win a Dell 37-inch high-definition LCD TV. 2 winners will be chosen at random to win a Dell TV and have the best seat in the house. Third down 5. Walter does a good job with time, and he completes it. Axon all the way down to the 19-yard line, brought down by Roman.
And the Niners continue, and Walter picks up where Aaron Brooks left off, moving around in his pocket with the good protection and looking down the field. And able to find his targets really over and over again.
I mentioned earlier that he played football with Alex Smith at Utah, but Madsen did not play high school football. And he's such a specimen that when they brought him on the team, let's try him at receiver now, the Raiders are giving him a good look. He's very raw, and they're worried more about his blocking than receiving. Fargas takes it up to gut, picks up about 4.
Well, Madsen able to get behind the secondary on that deep crossing route that was created by the time that Walter had. And Vargas is really doing all of the damage on the ground. No one else really has touched the football here in the second half on the ground for the Raiders. Vargas getting all the work and a lot of it up inside.
Ball at the 16-yard line. He picked up 3 yards or 4. Second down 6. And it's complete. About the 7-yard line, Chad Williams.
And you know, Dennis, you made mention of how long that first drive was of the Raiders, and we're seeing again them able to control the football and put a drive together. So important on defense to come up with a play, some type of play. Here you see the 49ers not in position to make something happen, and again that sustains the drive for the offense. That makes it long.
And Chad Williams made the tackle with Santiago trying to get back into the league after missing last season, and Vargas trying to get in there, didn't quite get there. It'll bring up second down. Tucker came up and made a nice stop for the 49ers. They come full circle, catch Terrell Owens in the Big T. The 49ers and the Cowboys, Saturday at 5 o'clock right here on CBS 5.
The 49er defense finds himself right back up against the wall as the Raiders and Walter back down the field. Shorter time this time to get there.
And it's Fargas again. And Fargas this time hit immediately. And a nice job by T.J. Slaughter, who's making a few tackles for the 49ers here in the second half.
Well, nice job by Slaughter that time from his linebacker position on penetration, able to make the hit in the backfield.
Signed as an unrestricted free agent.
And you see that the Niners in position where they had 3 guys down.
And that ends the third quarter here at McAfee, where the Raiders in complete control at 17-0. Third down, ball to 5. 3rd and goal for the Raiders, trying to add to their total. too much time for Walter. Throws it in the back of the end zone, and it's incomplete. Lofted it up there. He's trying to get a jumping contest for Johnny Morant. But Mark Roman up to the task, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And that's what you have to have in the end zone and down the field is reaction to the football and plays on the ball down the field like this. Roman able to look back and get his hands on the football for the incompletion.
The 23-yard field goal attempt. Roman was good. Roman was cut one day prior to training camp. He was furious because he had asked for his release 4 months prior by the Packers. But Roman makes a nice play, and there's timeout on the field, 20-0. Question, do you really think Alex Smith and the O-line are the real deal? Tina?
Well, obviously time will tell, but Alex Smith has shown development, and I like Larry Allen.
And Williams took the ball 2 yards deep, brought across the 32-32, so nice return for the 49ers, and they will have the ball with 14:45 left to go in the football game on a 34-yard return.
Get the team going. We needed a spark, so I know I had to come up with a catch.
Talk a little bit about that continuity. What could you equate your relationship to Alex Smith like any other great sports relationships between quarterback and receiver?
Yeah, and just like being brother to brother, you know, you have your ups and you have your downs, and it's just about learning from them and becoming stronger. So I'm glad we're going through what we're going through and getting the looks that we're getting out here today. You know, nobody likes to lose, but you have to go through some things to get somewhere.
Are you really getting macaroni and cheese now from the fans?
Well, actually, I got macaroni and cheese and fried chicken waiting on me at the house, so after the game, I'm going to eat good.
Tell us about the garbage man, where that originated from.
It's just a little analogy I came up with. You know, I just figure it's tough work out there. A lot of people don't like jumping up, catching balls in traffic, you know, going, catching slants, going across the middle, but somebody's got to do it. It's part of the game.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, Antonio. We'll send it back up to you, Dennis.
Thanks, Kim. 1 catch for 46 yards for Bryant in the first half. Darnell Bing on the coverage there will bring up 3rd down and 6 for Trent Dilfer. Arnaz Battle is the intended receiver. I think Arnaz is got to try and stay healthy. He's definitely an impact player and could be a playmaker for the 49ers if he can able to still stay healthy for the course of 16 games. Go for the dump off. And Walker gets near the 1st down. Michael Robinson, excuse me, he was the Penn State quarterback who has been converted to back for the 49ers. He had 11 carries, 31 yards, 2 receptions, 26 yards last week against the Bears.
It comes up a little short on that 3rd down play, but it was his adjustment along with the other depth that we talked about, Terry Jackson, Maurice Hicks, and Gore, obviously, who will now start in the backfield for the 49ers. It allowed them, they felt, to move Kevin Barlow before tonight's game.
Chris Carr back deep to receive the punt from Ruin, and he calls for the fair catch at about the 16-yard line. So with 13:23 left to go in the football game, the Raiders lead the 49ers 20-0. Crowd today at McAfee Coliseum. That's one of the better get-ups we've seen. I've seen a couple 49er jerseys in black gold as well. Marcus Tuiasosopo, quarterback in his 6th year out of Washington. 8 of 20, 99 yards, 1 interception, and was sacked 4 times last week against Minnesota. Running back for the Raiders. Gets a few yards. Rashad Lee in his 3rd year. The Raiders signed him as a free agent. Just 11 carries for Green Bay Packers in 2005. And picked up about 8 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 2. I think the Raiders have done everything they've wanted to do in this football game. And I think coming off the first 2, yeah, they were 2-0, but not that impressive tonight. I think this was the game that Art Shell was looking for. Lee again, and Lee is close. Matter of fact, he has 1st down yardage to the 30-yard line. That one will move the chains.
Well, for the Raiders, this is their third preseason game and the second one for the 49ers. And you're absolutely right that, you know, Art Shell and his crew wanted to see more out of his team, and he did on offense for sure with Aaron Brooks and his production in the first half. Happy, obviously, with what Walter was able to do with his short stint in the game, and now Tuiasa Sopo getting a chance to show. And, you know, his 6 years and drafted here to the Raiders, and, you know, has had spotty duty in there and really hasn't had an opportunity to run this team with, you know, for any length of time.
Lee getting a few opportunities, gets the ball to the 40-yard line.
You know, it's so important to both of these teams and both these players here at these, you know, times in the game to keep showing well with the opportunities they get.
Don't just watch the game live. 49er season tickets and 5 game packs on sale now. They start as low as $295. Go call 415-GO-49ers or go to 49ers.com. Lee, 3 carries, 23 yards. Second down and 1. Clock ticking. 11:25 left in the football game. Lee again. And Lee gets the first down.
Number 42, Rashard Lee up the middle for the Raiders first down.
Fields there on the tackle along with the Gray. If you want to look on the bright side of the 49ers situation, Keenan, last season 17, Chicago, Carolina, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, the Giants, Tampa, and Washington. They made the playoffs. They were not in the playoffs the year prior. And I think that's just today's age of NFL parity, where one team can improve enough to get to the playoff the next. And there were 7 teams last year that didn't make it. 2 years ago that made it last year. The backfield, lead, nice open field tackle. On the Beckway makes his first tackle for the 49ers.
Well, you know, in free agency and the salary cap has, you know, forced a lot of the parity that we see. You can get good very quickly. You can also get bad very quickly.
That's true. I mean, you win a playoff game, you're going to lose some guys to free agency, but there were 2 teams, Chicago and Tampa Bay, who went from worst to first in their divisions. Bears worst in 2004 and won the division in 2005. But I think you're right. I think it goes both ways.
And I think that's why there's some excitement. And when you look at what the 49ers have added on offense, potential to be a pretty good offensive football team is there. And we talked a little bit about the defense and some of the changes really that have been made on the defensive side, not as glaring as offense. I mean, Manny Lawson was brought in to give some punch to the defense at the linebacker spot. And Derek Smith and a healthy Jeff Ulbrich on the inside to bring some punch to that defense.
Madsen is the man in motion, top of your screen. We also were looking at him, and he throws, and he completes. It's O.J. Santiago. Maxwell missed the tackle, and he's finally pushed out of bounds, thrown out of bounds by Keith Lewis. But Santiago, an interesting story in that he hasn't played in the NFL since 2003 when he started 7 games for the Raiders.
Yeah, so we go back to that defensive lineup there, and you see, you know, Brandon Moore at the outside linebacker spot along with Smith and Ulbrich, and Lawson comes in, and you know, Tony Parris, who was out with the broken leg, is now back in there. Spencer, Shante Spencer, who'll be out the rest of the preseason, but will be the starting right corner.
Santiago picks up 16 yards. Ball at the 31, first down. Lee, the ball carrier, gets inside the 30. This guy's a big guy. He gets down to close to the 25-yard line. Melvin Oliver makes the stop for the 49ers.
And so what the 49ers need on defense is someone, more than one guy, to emerge as their playmaker. As we've talked about Antonio Bryant being that guy on offense. You need those type of guys on defense that come up with big plays that either stop drives or give them opportunities at turnovers.
Lee picks up 6 yards, 2nd down and 4. He's a load. He listed only at 220, but he's pushing the iron D-line pretty good. That time getting into the backfield. Nice stop by Corey Smith and the linebacking crew.
Well, Corey Smith, who we saw have a big preseason last year, really working mainly at the defensive end spot, making a switch to linebacker at 6'2", 260 pounds. He's got nice movement, and we saw him do a nice job of rushing the passer last year. Again, can be tough moving a linebacker where now you're involved in all of the pass defense and those adjustments that go along with it.
Approaching the 7-minute mark, 3rd down, 7. Tuiasosopo at quarterback after Walter and Brooks. And down the middle, and it's batted away, nearly intercepted by Maxwell.
Well, Jim Maxwell, doing a nice job inside, reading the quarterback and getting the break. And again, those are those opportunities, those plays that get you out on 3rd down that is so important to the defense. You're out, and now you got a chance.
So Tim Duncan is coming on to attempt the field goal try. So far, the Raiders have been perfect. This one will be from 45 yards. And he got it. There's heat on Janikowski. We've got a field goal controversy, kicker controversy in Oakland. 6:51 left to go in the football game, and the Raiders lead the 49ers 23-0. John Madden, youngest coach when he took over for the Oakland Raiders, led them to a Super Bowl, went on to the great TV announcing career on Monday Night Football, and to the Hall of Fame.
With these guys in that hall, we will be forever. And when you think of that, it just blows your mind.
Al Davis gave the speech inducting John Madden into the Hall of Fame. It was really mesmerizing. I mean, you could sit there and listen to Al Davis and John Madden talk for quite a while with their knowledge and history of the game, and just another Raider into the Hall of Fame. Williams is the ball carrier, forced out by Gatewood, and the Niners will see if they could put something positive on the board here with 6:45 left to go. They trail 23-0. Not sure what he's got underneath. That's definitely tonight's 4 bold moves of the game. Should tell you something, we haven't had much for the 49ers. The plays this half, Oakland 35, and that was the 49ers' 7th play. Let's go downstairs. Kim?
Thanks, Dennis. I'm standing alongside a tall drink of water. Larry Allen, one of the biggest veterans out there on the offensive line. How are things going?
Good, good. We need, I guess we're saving it for the real game. So we'll see in October.
You started as a rookie. You were able to come in and start. What do you see from some of the guys out there in your young talent?
They look good. We just need to get on the same page and we'll be all right.
So I hear you're once labeled the strongest man in the NFL. What can you bench press?
My max is 705. 705 pounds.
How much can you squat?
It was like 900.
800?
Right.
What's it like being back here in the Bay Area, back at home?
Oh, it's cool. I get to see all my friends, family. It's great to be back here.
Would you ever consider a strongman competition at the end of your NFL career?
15 yards.
I might.
First and 10 for the 49ers.
All right, thanks, Larry. Thanks for joining us. Back up to you, Dennis.
Thanks, Cam Robinson, to pick up 16 yards.
700 pounds? That's picking up a small truck, babe.
Pick up 4 of me. Dilfer on first down. He's going to go deep downfield, and it is complete. Billy Badgema, the tight end at the 18-yard line. Hiram Eugene makes the tackle for the Raiders.
That was a great throw by Dilfer, sitting in the pocket. Looking right at his tight end Badgema all the way, and a nice job of holding on to the football. He takes the collision. Dilfer takes the hit at the end of that one, but look, right in the middle of 3 defenders. Badgema coming down with the football, and here you see Trent Dilfer knows he's going to take it, still sits in there, delivers the football, and that's what you got to do at the quarterback spot.
Michael Robinson to try to jar the ball loose out of his hands. The rookie holds on to it. Yeah, I think poor Hiram Eugene got the worst out of that collision.
Well, you see that vest that they wear, Dennis, that rib vest, that rib protected, a little bulge in there? That's why. Because when you're got that arm up, you're exposed. Dilfer, the crafty veteran, knows to wear it.
Well, the crafty veteran didn't know not to slide head first. Second down 9 for Dilfer, and they say that he has been so instrumental, and really what Alex Smith lacked a year ago. You know, on the sidelines, the veteran influence, the calming influence, the man that could give you advice. Didn't have that last year, really. Dilfer, of course, out of the backfield, gets the football inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Well, you're seeing the experience of Dilfer, you know, the calm and being able to run this offense.
Join the 49er faithful, CBS 5 and the San Francisco Chamber of Commerce to kick off the season. August 31st is the San Francisco Marriott. Sit down to lunch with Coach Mike Nolan and the full roster of players. For tickets, register online at sfchamber.com or call the Chamber at 415-352-8879. We will see you there. Dilfer on the roller, and he throws. Robinson for the touchdown. Yes, touchdown 49ers. Dwayne Starks is over there on the coverage, but the 49er rookie finally put San Francisco on the board with 3:35 left, but there's a flag. And the way it's been going for the 49ers today, you might know the result.
Well, Trent Dilfer using that rollout that we saw Alex Smith do a lot. Goes to his underneath guy, Michael Robinson. You see Battle was in the end zone. Dilfer went underneath to Robinson. Right choice as Robinson gets the touchdown.
And the penalty was against Oakland, so the 49ers are on the board. Trailing 23-6 with 3:35 left to go. I think Dilfer just appreciates getting a little bit of playing time. I think the way things transpired in the first half and Alex Smith's inability to really engineer a scoring drive kind of pushed things back, and I don't think you're going to see the battle of the third-string quarterbacks that perhaps you expected to see tonight. So then he kicks it through, and with 3:35, the 49ers score their first touchdown and trail the Raiders 23-7.
But Norv is actually upstairs in the booth. Jim's down on the sideline and has that immediate communication with his quarterbacks, letting them know what he sees from the sideline, always getting the message from up top from Norv and like what he'd like to do. But Jim really has the relationship and the hands-on communication with that quarterback group.
Well, the penalty on the 49er touchdown was against San Francisco. Consequently, Andrew Hawk has had to kick deep in 49er territory, and the Raiders have good field position.
Well, I think it's important that the Niners were able to get on the board, and Trent Dilfer, who didn't have an opportunity to play in last week's game, comes out and gets a lot of good work in this 49er offense and scheme. And obviously Nolan feels good that his quarterback, who will be the backup guy, has the ability and the command to come down and lead this team.
Raiders have been pretty potent there, regardless of who the quarterback is. Brooks came out smoking, his best game of the Raider. Andrew Walter looked good. And then Marcus Tuiasosopo leading them down for a field goal. Buchanan is the receiver in motion. Confusion in the backfield. Lee ran into Tuiasosopo.
Rashard Lee, the ball carrier.
So the Raiders come out too tight, two backs, one receiver. Kind of tighten it down and run inside.
Loss of 2 on the play. 2nd and 12 from the 47.
David Chuck has made a couple tackles tonight for the 49ers. Leaves some running room and gets across the 40, inside the 40 to about the 48-yard line. Melvin Oliver, his third tackle for the 49ers tonight.
And you know, Dennis, that play is designed to look like it's coming up inside. And you see Lee, once he gets to the line of scrimmage, kind of flatten it out and heads to the outside and tries to get the edge, and able to do that with the block and set up inside. So you see starting up inside and then right away heading outside to follow the block and getting around that corner.
3rd down 3. And Lee's going to get the first down just inside the 35. The marker was at the 30-yard line. Iwuchukwu in there with the tackle again.
Well, the Raiders come back to the exact same play, and this time following Hall.
So there's a timeout with 2 minutes. They're at the 2-minute warning, 23-7. The 49ers and the Raiders played. Remember Derek Johnson and his rookie campaign with the 49ers, and I think right there we saw the first bit. This guy's got a nose for the football. And in his second year with San Francisco. Haven't seen much of Derek tonight. First down and 10. Toriyasu Soko hands it off for Lee. He's having a nice game for the Raiders. He picks up 5 more, so he's got 11 carries now for 47 yards. Jim Maxwell on the tackle for the 49ers.
You know, Lee, the same play back to the left side. And this time he turns it up inside as the 49ers hold a point outside, don't allow him to get outside. Lee turns back up inside, and Shell liking what he's seeing tonight.
Yeah, as much as the 49ers dominated Chicago last week, the Raiders have done that to the 49ers tonight. Oakland has totaled 70 plays, 235 for the 49ers, and a 2-to-1 ratio also in time of possession. So they are all over it now. They're going to kneel down on the ball and be happy that nobody got injured. Michael Huff, their first-round pick, did have to lead the game after being shaken up in the first half, and he had that big interception for the Raiders. But other than that, they were able to escape today's game pretty much injury-free. So at this point, you just want to run the timeout and get out of here.
Well, Alex Smith, and you know, 2 interceptions tonight. Not the same performance we saw last week, but really operated directly out of the pocket, solely out of the pocket tonight. Saw a different type of Raider defense, and the Raiders looked obviously very good on offense.
How much of this, Keena, do you think maybe Norv Turner, they know that they're going to meet each other in the regular season? You don't want to show much of your hand, and it did look like it was pretty conservative on Norv Turner's part tonight.
Well, it came out. I mean, you know, remember the first play was you know, the almost lateral that started that first drive off, you know, tough for the 49ers, and never quite got in sync. And you heard a couple players say, hey, we came out, you know, just a little sluggish, a little slow. And, you know, important, you know, these are all lessons in this league for young players, that you got to be ready to go with everything every week.
Yeah, and I tell you something, the Raiders, we saw that graphic the last time they were 3-0. They went on in the preseason. They went on to win the Super Bowl. But I've thought for years that there was too much talent on the Raider roster not to be in the playoffs year in and year out. And that's really the way Al Davis builds that team. He's got good enough players. He's got playmakers. Jerry Porter, Randy Moss, Lamont Jordan. And now, if you look at last year's draft and this year's draft, last year Stanford Route, Fabian Washington, cornerbacks, young cornerbacks of speed. This year, Michael Huff. So I think defensively they are going to have playmakers. Offensively, they're going to have playmakers. I mean, if I'm a Raider fan, I'm a little bit more optimistic, certainly after this performance tonight with the season upcoming.
Well, yeah, they've got some things to be excited about. I mean, if this is the Aaron Brooks that you get all season long, you got your quarterback now, and he seemed to be in sync with everybody. And if he gets on the page with Randy Moss, and who knows what Porter does, you know, watch out on offense.
Okay, we're going to take a timeout and come back with more as the 49ers soundly defeated by the Oakland Raiders tonight, 23-7 at McAfee Coliseum.